Hello. So let's start MAH CET 2025 most important questions. Okay. So in this session, we are going to do some questions that are very important from the perspective of MAH CET. Okay. So let's start with the first set of questions. So basically, it says that table shown below depicts total number of people in different villages and their percentage of men, women, and children. Okay, so percentage of men, percentage of women, percentage of children. So this is given. Okay, now it talks about village L has a total of 1240 people. Okay, the percentage of children is 20%, percentage of women is 45, percentage of men is 35. Okay, so how we are going to calculate very quickly. So what is 10% of this? So I would say 10% of 1240 is going to be 124. Okay. So 12% is going to be 10% is going to be 124. Okay. Now what is going to be 5%? That is going to be 62. So that's all I need. So 20% is going to be twice of this. So twice of this is going to be how much? That is going to be 248. So I think I will change the color. So it is going to be 20% is going to be 248. Okay. Now what is 45%? So 45% is actually going to be 20% into 2 means 496 plus 5%. So I am going to get, this is going to be 8, 5 and 5. So 558. Okay. What is 35%? That is 40% minus 5%. So that is going to be 434. So 434 men we are talking about. So that's how we are going to calculate we are going to calculate the value of percentage men in this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate 10% of 2140. So that is going to be 214. 5% is going to be 107. Okay. So what is going to be 30%? 30% is going to be 3 times this. That is going to be 642. 30% minus 5% is going to give me 25%. So 642 minus 107 means 535 is going to be 25%. Okay, I need to calculate 45%. So into 4 is going to be 800 and into 4 is going to give me 40%. So 856, that is 40%. Plus 107 is going to give me how much? 45%. So this is going to be 63 and 963, and that is the value that we are going to look for. Similarly, we can calculate 50%, 30%, and 20% for n. So for every value, we can directly calculate just by calculating 10% and 5%. I can calculate every value, right? So that's what I have done. I have made a table where I have taken out every value. So the number of children in village L are 258, number of women are 558, number of men are 434. Okay, and this number is there for every village. Okay, now what is the first question? Now, what is the first question we are talking about? Which village has the least number of children? I can directly see and I can say it is definitely going to be Q because it has 99 children, and it is going to be among all the children, it is going to be the least value. Make sense? So now for the next question, let's move on. What is the next question? What does it say? It says, what is the ratio of number of women in village L and P together? Okay, to the number of men in the same village. Okay. So we are talking about what? L and P together. Number of men are, this is going to be 448, 2 plus 3, 5, plus 12. Okay. Now I got the number of men. Fine. Now, if you see, every value is actually half of this, right? And it is half of this is 629. So in which ratio I have number of men is 629? That is, we are talking about women is to men, right? So in which option in men I have 629? There is only one option, so that is going to be option B. I don't even calculate to the ratio of number of women, sum of number of women. Why? Because if you see, if I am going to calculate the number of women, then this plus this will give me number of women. I do half of it, I am directly going to get option B, because the ratio for women, every value is different. For ratio of men, every value is different. So I just need to pick up one value, and I'm doing half. Why? Because I am getting value in 1200 something, and all the options are in 600 something. Means 2 and 2 are going to be cancelled out. So that's the approach I am going to take to solve question number 2. I'm not going to calculate everything over here. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? Now, what is the total number of women and children together in village Q? Okay, let's talk about Q. Women are 995. Children are, this is uh, 199. So value should be, this is 1000 plus 200, 1200, close to 1200. And there is only one option that is close to 1200, that is only option B. So for these questions, the question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, you don't even need to calculate, make the table. You can just look at the data. You can directly pick up the required values and get the answer. So if I have the, let's pick up the first table itself. And if I say this one, for example, question number 3, I'm solving. So what I'm going to do, if I'm solving in the exam, I'm not going to calculate this value. So I am going to assume the number of people are 1200, right? Sorry, 2000, because it is very close to 1990. Now, what is the percentage of women and children? That is 60%. So 60% of 2000 is going to be 1200. So my answer should be very close to 1200. Which option is very close to 1200? That is option B, because all the other options are not even close to 1200. So I can directly calculate the answer. Instead of making the whole table, I can directly get the answer. Now let's move on to question number 4. Okay. The total number of people from village O, okay, is what percent of total number of people from all the villages together. Okay. Okay. Now what I should do? Should I calculate the accurate value? I won't go with accurate value. And why I'm not going to go with accurate value? Because if you see, the options are going to have a huge difference, right? 4%, 5%, 6%. So let's approximate. So number of people in village O is, let's say, 1700. It is 1680, right? Now it is 1200, 1200 plus 2200. This is, uh, that is, I'm just decreasing the value in L. So I have to increase the value of N. So 1200 plus 2200 is going to be 3400. Okay. 3400 plus 1500 plus 2000. So 3400 plus 3500 is going to be uh, 34 plus 34 plus 35 is going to be 69. 69 plus 2000 is going to be how much? 69 plus 2000 is going to be 89. 89 plus 1700 is going to be 10,000 something, right? So my value is going to be very close to, it is going to be, let's say, close to 10,000 itself, right? Into 100. So my answer is going to be very close to 17%. Now, which option is giving me close to value 17%? That is option A only. So that is 16% something. And question is anyhow talking about approximate value. So I can just approximate the sum. I can approximate the value of O, and I can get the approximate answer. In this question, if you are actually calculating the value, actually adding everything, then it is going to take a lot of time. And in the exam, you don't have the luxury to afford to invest 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes for one question only. So that's the reason. Just approximate the values and you are good to go. Okay. Again, approximation, whether you should approximate or not, it is dependent on the options you have. And why did I approximate? Because I first looked at the options, and options are far away from each other. That's the reason I am approximating. Now let's move on to the next one. What is the total number of children from village M and N together? Okay. So in village M, that is 535, and in village N, it is going to be close to 300. So that is a little less than 835. Which option? That is option B, directly. Right. So if you are able to approximate the values in the exam, your answer is going to be very easy. You can definitely get the answers in less than a minute. So basically, to solve all these 5 questions, I would say your time should be close to 4 to 6 minutes, and in 4 to 6 minutes, all the 5 questions can be solved. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? Okay. A contractor employs 4 men, 6 women, and 8 children to complete a certain job for rupees 910. If there are individual earnings are in the ratios of 4 is to 2 is to 3, then what is the total sum of money by women and children? So basically, question is saying that one man is earning 4 rupees, one woman is earning 2 rupees, and one child is earning 3 rupees. Okay. So there are 4 men. So 4 men are going to earn 16 rupees. There are 6 women. 6 women are going to earn how much? 12 rupees. And there is going to be how many children? 8 children. So 8 children are going to earn 24 rupees. And that's what question is saying. So what is the total money earned by women and children? So 16 plus 24 is 40. 40 plus 12 is going to be 52. Out of 52, how much money is earned by women and children? That is 36. Okay. And total money is 910. Okay. So I can cancel it by 4. So that is going to be 9, 13. And then I can solve it accordingly. Okay. Then it is going to be 70, and it is going to be 630. So my answer is going to be 630. So that is one way to solve the question. Now, what is the second way to solve the question? Okay. So what I'm going to say that 12 and 24. So this comes out to be 36. Right. It means this value is a multiple of 9. So which value in the option is a multiple of 9? There is only one value that is multiple of 9, and that value is what? 630. So what should be my answer of this question? That is going to be option A. I can directly get the answer instead of calculating everything and doing this much calculation. I can directly say my answer is going to be 630. Why? Because it is a multiple of 9. So my answer should be multiple of 9. I hope everyone understood what is the approach of this question. Now, let's move on to the next question. Okay. In every 20 minutes, the time of a watch increases by 2 minutes. Okay. After seeing the correct time at 6 a.m., a man sees the watch when it shows 11:30. What is the actual time? So in 20 minutes, the watch covers 22 minutes. Right? Because from 6 to 6:20, 6, and when time becomes 6:20, so actually the watch is not showing 6:20, it shows 6:22. Okay. So in 20 minutes, the time gained is 2 minutes. So in 1 hour, what is the time gained? That is going to be 6 minutes. Okay. Okay. So basically, at 6 o'clock, what is the deviation? 0. Okay. So first of all, if the clock is showing 6:20, the actual time is the if clock is showing 6:22, the actual time is 6:20, right? So clock is showing more time, right? Actual time should be lesser than 11:30, right? So this option is rejected, this option is rejected. Now after 6, if I am talking about 10 o'clock, so in 4 hours the clock is going to gain how much time? The clock is going to gain 24 minutes, right? So clock is going to gain 24 minutes, and this option says the clock has only gained 10 minutes. So is it the final answer? No. So my only possible answer is going to be option C, that is 11 o'clock. So if you want to solve it, how you can do it? So from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock we have 5 hours, right? Now, in 1 hour, clock gains 6 minutes. So, in 5 hours, the clock is going to gain 30 minutes. So, when time actually becomes 11 o'clock, the clock is going to show the time of 11:30. And that is how we can get the answer. But instead of doing all those things, you can say in 1 hour, it is gaining 6 minutes. So, in 2 hours, it is going to gain 12 minutes, right? So the time difference should be more than 12 minutes and it should be lesser than 12 minutes. So basically, there is only one option left, that is 11 a.m. Apart from this, there is no possible answer that you can have. So if I'm going to have this kind of question, I'm not going to solve. I'm just going to look at the question, look at the options, and get the answer very quickly. So, and this is the standard approach if we are going to solve the questions in the exam of MAH CET. Now, let's start question number 8. What does it say? Okay. Okay. So it says the first statement is point D is 14 meters towards the west of point of E. Okay. So whenever you have a question of directions, so always assume there is one person who is standing at this one intersection, or I would say origin. Okay. I know this is east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. Okay, A is standing at intersection or origin. D is here 14 meters. Okay, point B is 4 meters south of point D. Okay, so B is going to be somewhere here 4 meters south of D. Okay, and this distance is going to be 4 meters. Okay, point E is, okay, point F is 9 meters south of point D. Okay, so point D 9 meters means 5 meters further. From this point 5 meters further, there is a point called F. Okay, so this is the position of D, this is the position of B, this is the position of F. Okay, point E is 7 meters towards the east of point B. Okay, so this is B, 7 meters over here, and that is point E. Okay, that's what we got, point E. Point C is 4 meters towards the north of point E. Okay, so now this is 4, so this is upside 4, and point C is standing here, and that is 4 meters above. Okay, point G is 4 meters towards the south of point A. Okay, so this is point G. Now there are too many things that are given. Now what does it say? What is the question asking? I think there is a typing error in the question because there is no question. What I'm solving? So I got the positions of the people. Now I have absolutely no clue what exactly is the question. So I don't know how to solve the question because there is no question. So I humbly apologize for the typing error in this particular question because the question itself is missing. So I just located every person over here, but still it's a humble apology because I think there is a mistake over here. Question itself is not there, so what I can do over here? So I'm sorry. Now let's move on to the next question and let's see whether we have next question or not. So okay, so there are no questions and we are done. So anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. I will respond to your answers. So does anyone has any doubt or anyone wants to ask anything or make a statement? Yes, no? Okay, so with this, we will wind up the session and thank you. So, if anyone has any doubt, you can just drop a message. We'll discuss. Thank you.